Today we're going on a bit of an adventure. We're going to walk through the jungle. The thing is, we've been here in Waiag a few times, and although it's super beautiful, I'm sort of looking out for new things to discover here. So I looked on the satellite maps and sort of saw a bit of a lake in here, and it's sort of weird because the rock here in Waiag is all this porous limestone. There's no standing water at all, so it's sort of interesting to go and look at this lake. It could just be a swamp, it could be nothing at all, but it rained like a solid 8 hours last night, just downpour, so we figured this could be the day. And it's about 400 or 500 meters. I guess you've got to go up this hill and down the other hill, but yeah, gonna go and check it out. Park the dinghy over here because the rocks here are all just oysters and the wind's blowing it this way, so it would have just destroyed itself. Parked the dinghy, just tied it to a branch and then just waited. I was a meter deep water to get here. So we're gonna walk up, and Marie loves spiders, so she's looking forward to having a few nests and that jump straight on her, down her neck. That's why she wore this special hat, stop them crawling down her neck. Anyway, I got my machete and we're gonna go bushwhacking.
Disgusting. Don't like this one. No, 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 don't move. Stop. That's not nice.
You're so brave.
No, I'm not brave.
So
Vernon
brave.
forced me to go in a spider nest.
The jungle here is pretty nice. It's a lot of birds around making noises and not massive trees because there's not really much topsoil here, but quite nice, and it's definitely a bit cooler in here, and a big variety of trees and palms and things like that. I don't think Marie is really concentrating too much on the variety of trees and that. She's just looking at all the spots where spiders could be hiding, just lurking, waiting for her. You're going good, babe.
Oh my God. We are not at all doing good.
We're up on the ridge now. We've gone the up and now we're going to go the down. Still can't see anything, but there's really good breeze up here, so at least we're getting a bit cooled down. But yeah, I can't see a lake or anything down there, but we're definitely on the right track, so go and check it out. Sort of got high expectations of something, but it's probably just going to be a swamp with a million mosquitoes and we'll just leave right away. But so we came in by boat here, in through this little entrance, and the boat is parked down in the corner there now, and we're up on the middle, and this is the lake we're trying to find. There might be a cafe over here and a diving board and some chairs and ice creams. That's what we're looking for, but we have to walk around. But no, we're on the ridge now. We're going to walk down now, that way. Thank you. So yeah, it looks like we found something. There's a body of water behind us. It's pretty tricky to get to it, but yeah, something is there. We'll go and check it out. Well, we found the lake. Not a bloody cafe or restaurant in sight, to be honest. A little bit disappointed. I was expecting some ice cream, but anyway.
Not a good seat.
No, not comfortable up there? But anyway, we found it, so we accomplished that objective. I was sort of hoping it was going to be fresh water, to be honest, just to be able to go for a, you know, a nice swim, because it rained all last night. It would have been cool. But it was, yeah, it was too much to expect, because, as I said, this rock here, and you can see it behind me, it's super porous and it would never hold water. So we're at sea level now, so we just climbed up a ridge and we've climbed right back down to sea level. And the water just, I guess, goes backwards and forwards. You can see here with some stuff in the water over here. It's going in that direction, so it's obviously going up into this sort of hole. I guess as the tide goes up and down, this just goes up and down here as well. So it's just a little inland lake that's just fed from probably 2 or 3 different sides through this porous rock. So yeah, anyway, big adventure, Marie. How many spiders did you see?
Too much. Too many spiders.
You survived.
Yeah, but that was not the best adventure ever for me.
No?
Not really.
But only because of the end result wasn't quite like...
No, that's okay. It's not so worse. It's just not really comfortable with these rocks. Just the last part was really complicated to walk, because as it's super sharp, you see, it's moving, and yeah, you can fall, and if you fall on this, it's really terrible. Yeah.
Well, I don't really want to do this, but I bought the mask, so I might as well go have a look. It would be like real shitty to hear in a couple of years that this was amazing breeding ground for some cool species that doesn't happen anywhere else. So I'm going to swim out in the middle there and have a look around, but I'm probably just going to get covered in shitty moss or whatever. But I'm going to leave my shoes and shirt on just in case there's any like critters in here that might sting me. Ooh, lots of fish. It's a really big hole that goes down there, and then the entrance is really strong current. It's like super tempting to go down and look down there, but if you got sucked into there, you'd be so dead.
Yep. So you didn't discover anything for the science?
No, not much. A lot of shellfish here, and some weird soft corals that I haven't seen anywhere else, and some little fish, little ugly ones, no colour, and some little 4-armed, like a little octopus thing, but with 4 arms, like this big, white with 4 legs.
Don't know this one.
No, so maybe they're all special. So we've done that, and now we're probably going to walk back. I sort of cut a path on the way here with the machete, so it should be a bit easier to get back. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that adventure as much as us. I made it back to the boat finally. We got lost a little bit actually and went the wrong way for like half an hour, but made it, full of scratches and yeah, ant bites and things like that, but no big spider bites. But I don't know, maybe Marie probably not going to follow me on these adventures anymore after that one. But I think deep down inside, under all her arachnophobias, she really enjoyed it. And she'll just be dying to come on the next adventure. What do you say? because it's deep down inside. It's not that close to the surface. She'll dig it out next time. Okay, so I get a lot of questions sent to me through all the channels, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, some emails even, and a lot of them, well, I try to answer all of them, to be honest, but some of them are quite interesting, and I think, you know, like more than just the person who asked me could probably benefit from that, from my experiences and things. So I pick out a few now and then and try and answer them a bit more in depth, and so that all of you can hear. So I've got a few here. I've got 4 today. The first one from Anthony 241. How fast does your boat go? Well, Anthony, that's a good question, but it's pretty hard to answer. I have yet to reach the max speed. I guess that's going to be the same. I guess I'll get that one day surfing some big swells in the Southern Ocean maybe, but my old boat, which was a pig compared to this, I got 11 knots down a wave, so I'm guessing this boat will be capable of an easy 15, 16 knots down a wave. But in general, I would say the average speed is probably 7 knots, and I've got pretty often 9 knots without any current, or just a good wind on a good angle. Normally stronger winds with a reef in, you know, not too much heel angle. This boat goes pretty well. It's only 37 foot, so you can't expect too much out of it. But the top speed's not really the important thing. The speed all the time is the important thing. If your boat can do 12 knots, but it needs 20 knots of wind to even get going, then it's not really useful, especially around the tropics where I am. I like this boat because in 10 knots of wind I can do 6 knots of boat speed, with the spinnaker up even 8 knots. So yeah, a light fast boat is real good if you don't want to burn diesel. So this is a light fast boat. Top speed, obviously a 50-foot boat's going to get a higher top speed than this boat, but in light winds I can probably sail just as fast as a bigger boat. Next up, Jackson Pillock. Any plans to do collab videos with other YouTubers? No. Well, no plans. I wouldn't mind, but I don't have any plans, because around here I haven't met any other YouTubers in Raja Ampat. There obviously have been a few going through, but pretty migratory group of people, I guess. It seems like if I would go to the Caribbean, I would probably trip over YouTubers in every single anchorage, and maybe in the Mediterranean a little bit, but around these far-flung areas, the YouTubers, you know, like Delos, or I don't know, you know, a few other ones, they've come through Indo, come through Australia, wherever, but they sort of tend to keep going. Whereas in the Mediterranean or the Caribbean, you sort of like just hop from anchorage to anchorage and back again, hurricane season, up and down, around. But yeah, it would be cool to meet some, just to see how they get so many more followers and doing so good, you know, like learn from their experiences too. I would like to do a collab with people, but as of now I have no plans. Next up, Bobby Blue 22. Why did you decide to stop sailing solo? Well, yeah, good question, I guess. This year I'm not solo, Marie's with me. There was a few reasons. I mean, the obvious one is she's very beautiful and intelligent, and she wants to be here. And less obvious ones, maybe, she cooks really good. She keeps good company. She's very positive all the time, and not questioning my bad decisions and putting up with my BS a lot of the time. But we trust each other, and I guess she trusts the fact that I know how to sail a boat. Maybe that's well placed, I'm not quite sure. But no, it's good. And I'm sure in the future I'm still going to sail solo because I really love it. And she hasn't been offshore as such yet. So maybe she doesn't like that part. So maybe longer passages in the future I'll do by myself and meet her somewhere. We'll see. That doesn't really matter. But especially this year with the COVID thing that's going on. I'm really happy to have her here, because otherwise I would have been not sailing much and not really meeting any other people. You know, I love meeting village people and the locals where I go, and this year it's just not possible. So I would have been literally alone all the time and probably going crazy, and I can't sail very far because we're just not allowed to move at the moment. So we're keeping each other company and keeping each other sane most of the time. So yeah, but yeah, solo sailing, I'll never give that up. Love it. Stanley 241, this is the last question, and yeah, it's quite a big one. I know you are a photographer and earn your living mostly from shooting in different locations worldwide. How do you see that working out post-COVID crisis? Well, Stanley, that is something I've been thinking about a lot in the last few weeks. Obviously, I've been offline the last few weeks and had a lot of time to think, and just been, you know, relaxing and being away from the internet and coming back down after the whole quarantine thing. But yeah, at the same time thinking about the future. It's a tough one, to be honest, because I don't know, and I guess no one out there really knows what the future and the short term and the medium and long term future is going to be. You know, is travel, easy travel that we're used to, just go somewhere for a few days and then go back and go on to somewhere else and go home, or just hop around, is that even going to be possible? That's something no one knows yet. But the thing is, my job, it's sort of parallel to tourism. You know, like I go places for a few days or a week or 2 weeks and then move on, like a holiday maker does in a way. So I need the same access to movement and freedom of movement that holiday makers do. So I sort of think it's got to be possible, but then who knows? You know, it could be that clients that I would normally work with prefer now to take a domestic photographer, just because it's way less hassle and it can be guaranteed that on this and this day that photo shoot can be done. Whereas if there's a rebound of cases and then that border gets closed, I won't be able to make it, and the whole shoot was organized for nothing. So I really don't know. I'm sort of glad that this happened in my sort of off season. You know, I'm on the boat. It doesn't really affect me as much at the moment. I lost a few jobs because I left 2 months earlier from Europe than I normally would have. But you know, that was out of anybody's control. All the ski resorts closed. Everyone, yeah, you know the story. Nothing could happen. I am very dependent on travel for my job to be able to earn money and tell clients that I can be there and there at a certain date. And right now, that's impossible. One thing though that has offset that and made me feel a little bit more secure is the fact that I've been building up this YouTube channel for a couple of years now, and I have a tiny bit of income coming in from that, and it's sort of spread around the merchandise through Teespring. That's, you know, it's not much, but it's, you know, $100 a month or something. YouTube's also not much, but it's a bit of money. Patrons are definitely a more amount of money, and I'm really thankful to all you guys for supporting me on that. And it's just slowly built up. I haven't been pushing it like some channels do and really asking people to follow me, and I don't really even offer a pen or a mug or whatever to people. It's really only if people really appreciate what I do and the effort I put in, and they become a patron, and they normally stay a patron because they appreciate the journey that I'm on. And I'm really thankful to you guys. So I've been thinking one way to earn a bit more money would be to put out weekly videos, especially through this season where I don't know if I'm going to earn anything in the next 6 months from photography. Right now I put out a video every 2 weeks, although at the moment, you know, the last month I didn't put out any because I didn't have an internet, but in general I put them out every 2 weeks. But I'm thinking of going to weekly episodes just to earn a little bit more money from the YouTube and from Patreon. Patreon, it won't be much more money because most of patrons put a monthly limit on. But there are some generous patrons who have no limit and will pay the $5 or $10 per video 4 times a month instead of 2 times a month. So I would earn a bit more money. And I think by putting a video out every week, yeah, you earn a little bit more from YouTube. There's a bit more exposure towards Teespring and other photo sales, for example, through my website that some people inquire about. So just getting the videos out there double as often will be, there'll be more chances of hitting people, of people wanting this or that, things like that. So I'd like to throw that back to you guys. There's a Q&A to me, but I'd like to throw that back to you guys, the people viewing my videos, and especially patrons. What do you think about that idea? Do you think that's overkill? Obviously, I would probably not make 20-minute videos every week, more like maybe 12 to 15-minute videos, and more concise, not such sort of big rambling videos, more concise videos. And I've got a lot of ideas, and there's a lot of things that I could put into these videos, so I don't think they'll just be filling space. I think it would be interesting for you guys. But yeah, let me know what you think about that plan. And yeah, if you have any ideas for me or thoughts on what's going to happen after this COVID, what your ideas would be, you know, like, do you think it's possible for me to keep this gypsy lifestyle of flying in and out to do photo jobs? Do you see that coming back? Really interested to hear your comments back on that one.